Come one, come all, welcome into Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Nick Batters. He is Harley Year Out. Thanks for spending a small part of your day with us here at CSL. Happy Friday to you and yours. So glad to have you with us here on Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Nick Batters. The man to my left, it's a new face at the anchor desk, but we're so glad to have him, Tyler Mannion. Tyler, I have to be honest with you. This is the fourth show that I've anchored this semester. You're the fourth different anchor partner. Now, I'm glad to say that you've gotten the call up to the major leagues, but I really hope you stick around and this isn't like a September call-up situation.
Nick, I got to stop you right there.
This weekend, the tarps down the left field line are coming off, and ASU welcomes rival Arizona to town for a three-game weekend set. A crucial Territorial Cup point stands in the line, and with the Arizona State offense scorching hot, we're excited to welcome ASU hitting coach Mike Early to the show. He joins us live from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. And Mike, I mentioned the numbers a little earlier on, but ASU's offense has been the best in the country to this point. What have you seen from your hitters that's contributed to that? While ASU basketball enters the middle of the Pac-12 schedule, Sun Devil softball is gearing up for its first tournament of the season, the Kajikawa Classic, starting on February 8th. And this year's team looks quite different from last year's group that made it to the Women's College World Series. And for more, I'm going to bring in WCSN softball reporter Troy Tauscher. And Troy, like I mentioned, a lot of changes between this year's team and last year's team. What would you say are maybe some of the most notable differences between the two squads? Well, we knew the near-perfect season couldn't last forever. The Sun Devil baseball team has hit its first rough patch of the season. Over this past weekend, Sun Devil softball went 4-1, thanks to, like the screen indicates, a little Mo magic. Senior outfielder Morgan Howe quietly led the team to a 4-win weekend. Why quietly? ASU baseball isn't the only team facing U of A this weekend. Another team with the Territorial Cup point on the line is ASU softball, who this weekend travels south to take on the Wildcats. The Sun Devils are feeling a bit of momentum after a sweep against Utah last weekend, which they earned with a dramatic 9-run, bottom of the seventh comeback win over the Utes. If you follow ASU on social media, if you follow sports in the Valley, you're probably well aware already of the Joey DeCords and the Johnny Walkers of the world. But what you may not realize is that this historic Arizona State Sun Devil hockey team has a lot of impactful. But I say it's in time that we here at CSL inform you, the people, of the true top team at ASU. Obviously, it's women's tennis. Lauren Jean-Baptiste and Ilsa Hadding are currently ranked as the #1 doubles duo in the nation. ASU wrestling is pretty good. The Sun Devils hosted the 2019 Pac-12 championships this past weekend, and while they couldn't three-peat as conference champions, there was still plenty of success on the mats. ASU had Pac-12 champions in 3 straight matches. Christian Pagdaleo won at 157 pounds, Josh Shields won at 165, and Zahid Valencia came out on top at 174 pounds. As a result, all 3 earned automatic qualifications to the NCAA championships in Pittsburgh later on this month. Freshman Abby Anderson won 3 games, pitching 18 1/3 innings with just 2 earned runs allowed. Kendra Hackbarth hit for the cycle in just 4 plate appearances on Friday. Then on Saturday, Kendra's sister Maddie hit possibly the longest home run Club Farrington has ever seen. 5'5" Bella Loomis, ASU's #9 hitter, went 6 for 13 in the 5 games with 12 RBIs and 4 home runs, but statistically, Howe still had the best weekend. Mo had 9 hits over 15 at-bats, a .600 batting average, including 2 hits in each of the last 4 games of the weekend. She drove in 7 runs and hit 3 home runs, including a walk-off against James Madison and a solo shot that nearly turned the tables against Michigan. It seems like just yesterday we were all singing the praises of ASU baseball and head coach Tracy Smith. And for good reason. The team was 25-1 with a sweep over Arizona. And ASU hasn't even been the worst victim of the NCAA transfer portal in the softball world. That's Oregon. They also lost their entire pitching staff, had internal miscommunication when it came to transfer eligibility, and to top it all off, saw one of their recent transfers, Maggie Ballant, speak out against the athletic department, program, and new head coach Melissa Lombardi all at the same time. So while on paper the season may not look that great for the Devils, it could be a lot worse. And even then, it won't be bad. Let's begin with the 5 women's basketball teams in the Sweet 16 this weekend. And on top of that, the NCAA champion of 10 different women's sports have come from the Pac-12 in one of the last 2 years. 14 of 26 possible women's national champions. And I won't say that men's sports in this conference are all bad. Oregon State won the baseball national title last year in Omaha, and there are 4 baseball teams in the top 10 rankings right now. But that, along with men's soccer in 2017, which Stanford won the national championship for, are the only men's national championships for the conference in that same 2-year time frame I mentioned earlier. And my point is this. The picture painted about the Pac-12 conference is bleak, and for good reason. Now here's my point. The hitting has been good. The defense has been solid as well. But if the pitching doesn't turn around, they're not going to beat some of the country's best. UCLA, Oregon State, and Stanford all remain on their schedule and are all top 10 teams. Bottom line, if the Devils continue to play like they have been, a trip to Omaha will be a pipe dream. And that's the way it is. It was tough, but on the right leg we have the stars and stripes, the red and white stripes right there, and then on the left, we have the blue with the white stars.
Look at that.
As patriotic as we can be on this show. You say we're not sponsored by Apple. Keyword you forgot out is yet, because it's still very possible that can happen. I mean, everyone has to get that bread, obtain that grain. It's
obtain
totally,
the grain.
totally within reason.
Obtain the grain.
Okay. I have like a ridiculous number of questions here. So this Ethan T. Black guy, do you actually put water in your cereal? Because if so, that's a whole other conversation that we're going to have after this show. I agree with Joey. I think we're all still a little confused. Actually, I'm a lot confused, Bobby.
Don't get upset at me because I hit you when I'm going through the right door. Go through the proper door, please.
Tyler's fired up about this. I'm gonna go off your page. Take a little further. I hate bad doors, like when you don't know if you should push or pull.
Okay.
Doors should be obvious. You should know when you're walking into a door if you're going to push it or you pull. Like, am I crazy? Andre, you're graduating like, I guess, a little over a month now. And the stock of your degree is just, it's rising. It's going to be
skyrocketing.
Absolutely so much.
Shouts to you, Jake Garcia.
That'll do it for now. Andre, Sims, our entire production staff, we really appreciate you joining us. The semester's almost over, folks. You're not going to want to miss our final 2 shows. Same place, same time next week. We'll see you then.